holy shit, I'm back. I know, it's like you gotta wait like 4 months for me to be even close to being back, and then I randomly pop up on a fucking what Friday for some of me, for the Americans out here. So you guys closer in the future, if you guys are in the future, why do you not tell us about 9/11? I'm joking. I'm joking, but we're back with what if Hiccup was a dragon. I think this was Dragon Healer. God, it's been so far. I didn't even look at the titles. But again, I'm gonna make this one long so you guys can listen to this multiple times over and give me free ad revenue, even though I don't think I have ads on my videos because I'm like super small. But like somehow I'm growing. It's like I didn't post for like a month, and I need to look what is my statistic. And it's like I'm at like 351 subscribers, and I was like, holy shit, my boys, give me some high fives, give me some skin, my brothers. But like, yeah, no, you guys are doing great out here. Thank you so much. But the reason why I was gone for so long is because I just graduated from college. Like I got all my stuff done. I graduated from college. I know, a weird time to graduate, but I worked over the summer. I graduated from college and I just got an apartment and I just started working at my new job. So a lot of stuff has been messy, but I'm back, baby. I'm back and better than ever. But let's start with this. So last time we left off years ago, uh, we just talked about how Hiccup is now getting into dragon training and how he's, helping with healing still and everything like that. But he's getting into training with, not training, but how to defend against dragons, even though he really doesn't need to know because he's a dragon king, aka anytime he heals a dragon, he becomes their king, aka they will listen to him no matter what. And he has healed a bunch of dragons, especially the dragons that they have captured, so they listen to him a lot of the times. Astrid and the rest of the crew, the twins, Snotlout, and the others follow him into the forest because Hiccup always leaves early. They're going and they're trying to search for him, but Hiccup is so good at hiding because he's naturally been in this forest multiple times that they don't find him. Toothless flies away back into the dragon hatchery, or the dragon island, and Hiccup is somewhere. And that's where the last time we ended off. Let's start the video. As Hiccup is just waiting for all of the noise of the crew to leave, and he finally hears, I don't think he's here. And this is Snotlout. A short little guy. He's like, why are you so interested in Hiccup anyway? Well, I'm right here. So he's like going up to her, and you just hear a crack as he gets punched in the face really hard and falls down. And he's like, I deserve that. As the rest of the crew, the twins and everyone else leaves, as he says, okay. And he starts running off. As we're going to switch POVs for a little bit. As we go up to Snotlout, Astrid. As Astrid's in the forest with an axe still, and he's looking about, and he's like, I know he comes here. The rest of them has already left, but they're dead weight anyway, so it doesn't even matter. As she looks around and she says, I can't, my eyes are going to deceive me. And she closes her eyes and she just listens. And all she hears is an unfamiliar rustling. She looks over as she sees just a dark figure move very fast, like almost like unnaturally quick into the trees. And she crouches down like almost like a hunter going against prey. And she starts moving very quickly, but still very stealthily. Moves around as she Sam kind of closes her eyes, but stays on the feet of the movement as he finally gets to this like clearing area, and she stands up as she falls down, she slides down as she was taking. Wasn't looking down as it was a almost like a hillside, like directly down as she falls down as she like tries to grab stuff, but it's just rocks and rubble as she slides down, lands, and does like a barrel, stands up, like prepared to fight. As all she sees is Hiccup sitting there, boots off, and this is a like almost like a part of the island where like the ocean is somewhat into the landform itself and kind of made this little tiny uh like almost little like where like almost like a lake, and there's trees everywhere, but it's like a clearing as Hiccup looks at her and just smiles a little bit as he sees some like baby dragons walking around on his lap as like Astrid's like pulls up her axe to throw it, and he puts his hands up like whoa 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 whoa, puts both hands up like whoa, calm down, I know I'm a threat, but like what the hell. He's like no, he like points to the baby dragons, like looks down, like doesn't even like Hiccup's like what is she aiming. Oh, the dragons. I always forget that like even baby dragons for you guys are dangerous. It's like you guys. It's like oh, like I've been in the forest for so many years now that they just kind of see me as like a weird type of creature. They're walking around it as like Hiccup with his fingers, like the baby dragon's trying to munch on his fingers as she is moving around in like a circle pattern, like a almost like an infinity symbol. As the baby dragon's just moving around as he says, go off, go, mush. As the baby dragons fly away, as you see them mush off, like go super fast over. As Hiccup like has his boots off, socks in his boots, and his feet are inside like the river, as it's still pretty sunny out, but it's getting a little chilly. Are you gonna just stand there? Are you gonna sit with me? As you see that his what his normal cloak is that covers up all of his scar tissues on his arms is gone, is vanished. As you see two almost not long swords but short swords with a little bit of bend in the blade itself, or with his cloak as well. As Astrid looks at his body, he's muscular, incredibly so, because he has to take care of dragons, and dragons sometimes are really rough. As you see like scars from like top of his shoulder that somewhat covered by the shirt itself all the way down to some of his even hands has some like scratch marks on it. And Astrid says, what? As she points like, oh, just people are rough, just like drag it. He almost says it, but he thinks wait, just heat of battle, people claw. She takes off her own boots and put into the liver itself and looks over it. So you're saying you got that from injuries from people? Yeah. Think about this. He looks over to Astrid and says, think about this for a couple of seconds. You are in so much pain. You have no idea what you're even doing, and only thing you feel is a hand reach out to you. You just grab it, and sometimes, people's fucking, they grab hard. Sometimes they don't cut their nails either, so they carve into my fucking skin. It happens. I don't have a very weak skin too. Lies. Astrid knows that. That's an obvious lie. Every person from Burke doesn't have weak skin. Their skin is tougher than nails. Okay. As Astrid looks at him in kind of this weird fashion of like finally seeing him for the first time, because no one really gets close to Hiccup, even in like normal settings. He's always in dimmer light, he's always moving quick, he's always doing stuff, he's always doing medical stuff. No one really sees him up close. Not anymore, at least. When he was a kid, they saw him up close, but not anymore. And she finally looks at him, and he has a lot of like scratch marks, and like he's usually fully covered, cloak, jacket, sometimes even not really what we call a jacket, but just an overcoat on top of that. He's always covered up. This is the first time I've ever seen him fully uncovered close up. And she grabs her finger and rubs at like part of his chin where there's just a scratch mark, just a tiny little scratch mark. And this, got it when I was young, messing with some axes, cut myself, the normal stuff. Every guy has a couple. As she grabs his like tunic and pulls it down, and there's like another cut near his neck. And this, again, fall out of a tree, cut myself. I never heard you fell out of a tree. As he grabs and pushed her back. Yeah, I never go to my dad. I always deal with myself. I'm the medic. No one takes care of the medic. The medic takes care of himself. As Astrid almost looks at him, for the son of the chief, you have a lot of taking care of, you take care of everyone else but yourself. Even though everyone should be taking care of you, you're the son of the chief. You're going to be the chief one day. As she looks down, as the tunic was pulled up, as you see his hand goes down and pulls it down, but she almost saw like she saw something white underneath the tunic. Not like skin, but like too white for his body. Like the rest of his body is pretty well tanned, pretty well, but it's something there. And he's like, Astrid gets up, dries off her feet, puts the socks back on, puts the boots back on, grabs her eyes. Well, I'm going back. I'll see you tonight. And he looks out, like, what's tonight? Gobbert wants us to talk about the book. Oh, you mean that outdated piece of garbage that we still have? Outdated, as he smiles. I think it's outdated, at least. What about you? I think it's well dated. We update it every couple of years anytime we learn something new about dragons. Yeah, nothing about knife theories, though. As he looks back down. Yeah, because they're almost impossible to hit. No one has taken one down, and no one has ever killed any of them either. Especially because they only hunt at night. Okay. Doesn't mean you shouldn't research it. As she's kind of getting annoyed, like frustrated. Like, what do you mean? You can't research a dragon that you can't hunt down. Like, with Astrid's the only way she's ever learned how to research a dragon is when it's dead. Never when it's alive, obviously. But Hiccup smiles, and it's that smile where it's like that. It's that smile is like, oh, shit, he knows something and I don't. And that's frustrating. Astrid fucking just shrugs her shoulders and walks away. As Hiccup keeps on looking into the water, as you see a dragon just below, so hidden because of the camouflage of the blue, pop up as water sprays out after she's long gone before this incident goes down. But Hiccup looks at the dragon and smiles a little bit as the dragon pulls up, as the gushing of water kind of not sprays on him but gets kind of close. It says, whoa, watch out. I'm not invincible. Come on. As the invincible play. We're not doing that what if. No. That would have ended. As the dragon kind of leans down and he pats it. You think she's a keeper? As the dragon looks at it, looks at the way when she left and kind of smile, like you kind of see a grimace or a smile. You don't, either one, he doesn't have the emotions. She's a little volatile, you might say. Looks over and winks. Dragon goes back underneath the water and just fucking goes away. Asshole. As he stands up, he cleans up his own feet out of the water, puts his socks on, puts his shoes on, and walks back into town. He does his job. Start making painkillers, start making medical supplies, and starts rationing out the medical supplies for each person because winter's coming up soon. In winter, we have colds, not. Okay. To explain this into more detail, people don't get sick because of the coldness as much as you think. Yes, coldness does weaken your immune system, does make it harder for you to fight off illness sometimes, because obviously if you're warmer, your body naturally gets warmer because of sickness to kill off the disease. But people get more sick because people don't leave their house as much. Because in the summertime, people are outside, people are moving around because it's warm out. It's warm out, so people are moving around. But when people are indoors, it's easier to catch an illness. So that's what Hiccup is, working on, making sure when winter does come, he is rationing as he hears the door open up with a very familiar walk. As he looks over, as it's his father, as he's writing up pieces of paper, looking at it, writing, as Hiccup's dad says, "Hiccup, may you please," as he looks over, says, "Yes? I need you to come with me." As he stands up, his cloak is already on. He keeps his cloak always on in the village, only takes it off maybe in the upper fours area, but he's wearing a more lighter tunic, short sleeve shirt, basically, in the sense of a word, because it is still very warm. And he walks, and his father talking to him and says, "I was going to do another exposition. We need to find this Queen's Dragon area or something of this sort." And Hiccup knows what he's talking about. A lot of the dragons that he's been taking in is because of that area. A lot of them have some decently bad wounds, like some of them have wings completely fucking got cut, and some of them have different areas just fucking ripped apart that he has to heal, and he gets hurt himself in the process. And he walks with his father, and he says, "You think that's wise?" And he looks at him and says, "That's why I was going to ask you. I know you're dragon training. I know you're going to become better than I will as a chief. Especially because you know these people better than I do personally. Because you get to see them when they're at their weakest. They're injured." And Hiccup knows what he's talking about. His father. His people are very proud-filled people, but like when you see them at their weakest, when they're injured, when they're going to die, you get to see what the true person is like. Evil or good. In a natural state of the world. And he says, "I cannot judge your action as a chief at this point if you want to do another expedition, especially, but it seems like lately our food has been getting cut down less and less. There's still dragon, obviously, coming to our area, but it's been cutting down slowly. Do you believe another expedition is necessary, especially for how close we are to winter?" And he looks at him and says, "More explanation is because they never show up in the wintertime. It's too cold. They hibernate." And Hiccup knows this as well. That's why he's been preparing for hibernation, extracting food slowly but surely, getting some sheep for the dragons themselves, because obviously when not the ocean, but the water freezes over the top layer, sometimes, not really. It doesn't really freeze over because it's salt water. Salt water doesn't really freeze. But the fish, they go deeper and they to stay warm, and they kind of hibernate as well in the process. "I am not a marine biologist in any sense of the word. Please don't take this as tactile reasoning. But, it's harder to catch some fish. And it gets a lot colder. So most dragons hibernate. Toothless doesn't. Toothless is also a lightning dragon. She fucking shoots lightning out of anything, so we don't understand that as well. Me over here trying to figure out how does Toothless shoot lightning is the biggest, because I'm a science nerd, 100% of the facts, and I'm like, okay, how in the flying fuck does this dragon shoot lightning? Because it's I don't understand how you shoot lightning. But anyways, out of the function, he says, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to collect his couple 20, 30 villagers, and we're going to go out, well-trained men, see if I can find it."
as he looks up and says, well, what I would do then is I would take Gobbert. He looks down and says, why? And he looks up and says, well, number one, he's not going to leave. He's going to be part of the crew no matter what. Like, that's not a doubt in his mind. In Hiccup's mind, there's not a doubt that if Stoic is going, Gobbert's going. That's the end of the story. But also, fixing the ships, that's Gobbert. Making the weapons good, that's Gobbert. But who's going to... Then no. And Hiccups looked down and says, what? It's like, he must train you and the others, the youngers, to become better dragon trainers. I'm not taking him on this voyage then. And that's where like Hiccup is like, oh yes, I never even thought about that. I never even thought about with Gobbert. This is the reason why Gobbert can't come. Like, I always thought like Stoic, Gobbert, they're always going to be connected, but they can also work apart from each other. Wise. Looks up. That's a wise decision. Let me prepare some medical supplies. And he walks away. And Stoic looks at his son, and he's Stoic known for a while now that something's hiding. Like, there's a secret that his boy's hiding from him, but he never knew what. Like, he never could catch it. It's like a fly, just never out of reach. But like the scars, like Hiccups when he's sleeping, he never wears, doesn't wear the cloak because it's, sometimes too warm. And the scars that he can see is just almost mangled. It's like, what is my son doing? Once in a while from bathing, he saw Hiccup without a shirt, and it's just claw marks on claw marks on claw marks, like almost like a dragon caught him. But for the longest time, Stoic's been keeping his son out of danger because he's pride and joy, his last remaining family. Like, yes, he wants to be a man, but he is one of the best. One of the best men ever. He's a healer. Respect that he has already gained above Stoic sometimes. Sometimes the villagers come to him for advice that even Stoic can't even give. And he sees him walking away with this pride that Stoic never had when he was his age. This insurance. Not that he's better than anyone else, because he's not. He never believed that. This pride that, hey, I'm going to make the best decision I can possibly make. Stoic smiles, looks to the ocean and the cold front that he knows is going to be coming in a couple of months. God, I hope. As the book is explained, the book is just a dragon book that has a bunch, for Hiccup's sake, we're going to say this, a bunch of faults. Because a lot of these, what Hiccup is a dragon researcher as well as a dragon doctor. He knows a lot of these things don't have the full evidence. How to tame it, how to move it, just how to kill it. And he looks at it, it's just like, oh God, like his mentor, Gobbert, is explaining it, and he's just like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that's just like naming the faults in his head. It's like, that's wrong, that's kind of correct, but a little bit of mistakes here. That's true, I guess, but it's like, you can explain that a little bit more in detail. There's like a different reasoning for that instead of this. It's just like all of these tiny little details that like Hiccup is like looking at, and it's like, that's not fully true, or this is wrong, 100% wrong. Like, and Gobbert's just like, and he's trying to keep quiet, but his eyes are seeing it. Like he's like, when you like I know, like I am a fucking like master researcher. I understand like things, and when someone's like says something super stupid, and you're just like, huh? How did you get that opinion? Or even like, that's not even fact at all. Like, it's just like, what? Especially if you research it like really deeply, you're just like, huh? I know. For me, I'm talking to my autistic my people too. You definitely understand this because it's like, especially with trains, these. I have said something, and an autistic kid's like, no, no, you are wrong, and I know why you're wrong, and I just listen to them, and they're geniuses. They're so much smarter than I am, dude. Autistic people are so much smarter than I am. Just like, oh god, anime too, anime as well, but on the same track. It's just like, and Gobbert looks at him and is like, Hiccup, do you have anything to add? As Snotlout looks at him, it's like, yeah, the young chieftain doesn't have anything to add because he's useless. And Hiccup looks at him like, what? I'm not even like going into anything, but what? He's like, yeah, you're useless. You're only good at healing. And he's like, I wouldn't say that's useless. That's useful, actually. I would say, like, you don't look at a bandage and says that's useless because the only property it has is the property that it was given. Yeah, but you can't even fight. I beg to differ, but if you want to challenge me for my position, what? You can challenge me for my position. As rule of law, we have positions here. Obviously, I'm the son of the chief, meaning I should be the next chief, but you can challenge me for that position. As like Gobbert looks at him and says, it's an old law. Just in case the chief becomes corrupt, you can challenge the chief in a fight, and if you win, you get that position. You also gain my other position as well if you really want it. And he looks at it like, what? Head doctor, technically. Technically, Gothi still has the position as head doctor, but regulatively, I am equal to her in all standpoints. And she's also gave me the position as next in line for head doctor when she finally dies. So you would take that position too if you win. And like, he looks at him like, holy shit, that's a lot of responsibility. But he's Snotlout, and again, Snotlout is overconfident in himself. He believes that he's the best, no matter what. Without a doubt in his mind that he knows he's the best. So even though he's shown that he's not the strongest, and the twins are looking at him kind of smiling because they don't know how strong Hiccup is. The Gobbert though is just completely not even face mute, face non-expression, as like. And then we have Astrid. Astrid's like almost suspicious, and finally Snotlout looks at him and says, "Yeah, I'll take that off you offer. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock sharp. Meet me in the dragon training rooms. I will bring my weaponry. You bring yours, and whoever wins wins." And he says, "Okay, fine with me. I'll take the deal. I cannot deny your offer. Because you challenged me, I will make the rules." And he's like, "Huh?" It's like, "There's multiple different rules on fighting. We can do to the death." And Snotlout like almost open, like his eyes go fucking wide. Like, what? So it's to the death. We both kill each other. I don't think. Don't worry, we're not going to do that. Let's do unconsciousness. What? We will bring swords as we want. Any weapons that you want, as you've already said. Oh, okay, but we can't cut ourselves with them. So you'll bring blunt swords, let's say. You want wooden ones? As like, Snotlout like, yeah, wooden swords. As Snotlout's like confident, but he's like, I don't want to fucking die. So say, wooden swords. As he stands up, tomorrow, there it is. As he goes off to his room, as Snotlout like, is he scared or am I? As you see they're all standing up and walk away. Hey, guys, how good is Hiccup with swords? As none of them really know, and then all you hear is a pat on his back as you see Gobbert looking at him and says, "You fucked up." He just walks away. He's like, Gobbert, what? Gobbert, what? Gobbert knows how good Hiccup is with a sword, but it's not going to tell him and just walks out. And he's like, oh fuck, oh shit, I really fucked up, didn't I? that fucked up thing. But like, what Hiccups does every night though, when his father's away, because his father's left to see if he can do it, is he travels to the Dragon Island and prepares for winter. Because winter is coming in like 2 months. It is getting colder and colder. But he's preparing the island for basically hibernation for his dragons. Like, for example, a lot of the dragons are digging into the island and fishing out a lot of the water, so when they go in, they can stay warm. They're also eating a lot more, and some of the pregnant dragons are preparing to have their children sooner than later. So a lot of the dragons are what they're calling hibernation, preparing for getting a lot of food. So fish, stealing some sheep, not a lot, just for preparedness. And they're going inside of cave systems that Hiccup has made for the dragons themselves. And Hiccup is basically staying up a lot later, almost closer to 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, to preparing the dragons, and making sure that all of the babies are okay, none of them are dying, making sure the young ones are getting taken care of, getting warmth, and that the dragons that are getting warmth, that they make warmth for the rest of the dragons, making sure that they're doing their job well. And for the other dragons, they're making sure, like, for example, Toothless, who don't really go into hibernation, they still hunt, that they're not going to be lonely, especially because Hiccup's not going to have 100% more time like he used to have. Toothless always also flies him to his house and sometimes sleeps on his bed. Now because of his father being gone, but he has to leave quite early, roughly 3 o'clock in the morning. And because Hiccup is preparing for hibernation, they're basically hanging out all the time, because from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Hiccup is treating the dragons. So when he gets there at 11 o'clock, he's his eyes are bloodshot as fuck, and the bags are growing. He has bags on bags. He's oh fuck, I didn't want to do this. And you see Snotlout fully prepared. I woke up early for this, prepared. And Hiccup grabs a wooden sword, just starts flinging it around. And it's a normal wooden sword. A lot of the wooden swords that they made are not custom. They're not going to be custom for someone's hand. They are what they are. And it's a one-handed short sword, basically. And he grabs another one and he fucking breaks it. Fully cracks it. And kind of it's still pointed, but it's it's cracked in half for a reason. It's shorter than the other sword that he bought. Both of them are one-handed. So he says, okay, we're fighting for our position. We have as you see Gothi standing there, we have a representative showing that we are fighting. We are going to fight out. We're going to fight till knockout or pin. Are we correct here? And he's what is pin? As one of the twins raised their hand. Pin means unless I put my sword up to his neck and I say surrender, he can surrender. Or if I hit him on the head hard enough and he passes out, I also win. And Gothi nods her head yes, that is how it works. Are you ready? As Snotlout has a shield, a wooden shield, as all of the other males that haven't left yet, younger males, and a lot of the other teenagers are watching this, as Snotlout's luckily my dad's not here if I lose. And Snotlout charges and he swings and misses completely because he aims for the head, dodges. You see using the shorter sword that he broke as a deflector. He's using two sword style, basically, in the same simple word. What two sword style means is he using one sword as a blocker, usually the shorter sword, usually as a knife or as a dagger, and then he using one of the longer swords, this one a little bit shorter than he likes, but it's fine, he can handle it, to stab and cut, but he can use both swords to do that. as Snotlot's charging, he's moving, he's doing all these things, but they're wasting a lot of energy as Hiccup's just dancing, almost like he's just moving around him as like he aims for his legs, like Snotlot aims for his legs, and just dodges as he moves forward as Snotlot takes like an extra step and hits him as Hiccup hits him really fucking hard on the leg with his sword, and just goes fuck, and all you hear is like a crack, almost like a bone break, but just a boom, hit hard. As then he like launches forward and puts the dagger up to his neck and say surrender. As he's like, oh shit, one loss. As they back up, he shields up, he's moving. As Hiccup's like staring at him like, what the things I can see, and Hiccup, boom, launches forward. He's like, holy shit, he's fast. And he brings up his sword and boom, hits onto the shield itself. It almost like how hard he fucking hits his like his arm kind of goes numb. Snotlot's arm goes numb, and it's like he deflects with the shield, but he goes as you hear boom again as Hiccup uses his foot to hit Snotlot's knee, like almost puts the so. If you have never seen John Jones, I'm gonna explain this to you. He picks up his foot and stomps his fucking foot onto his knee, basically straighten his leg as Snotlot fucking falls over, and then instantaneously he moves his hand to go over the shield and put the sword onto his throat. That's two. As he backs up again, he says, come on, like I really need something here. Practice, training, come on, figure this out. As Snotlot's getting angry now. He's hurting a lot, but he's getting angry. And Snotlot charges him and just like tries to shield blast him as like Hiccup takes a step, kicks his fucking leg, drops him on his back, sword to the head, boom. And he's like, oh fuck, that hurt. It didn't knock me out, but that fucking hurt. And it's like Snotlot, like again, sword to the fucking throat. And he's like, that's three. I've won all three. I've pinned you 3 times. My positions are going to be mine until someone else defeats me. He gets up and he's about to put the swords away as Snotlot fucking throws his shield at him, and it about to hit him as Hiccup just takes a step and moves almost like sideways, like just moving his upper torso and keeping his lower body there, and just it hits the thing, and he's like, bro, that's not part of the rules. It's not like you cheated. You have to be cheating. It's like, nope, didn't cheat. It's like, what is that style of fighting anyways? Why are you using not a shield? He's like, never trained with a shield. It's like, what? You gotta understand, Hiccup never been scared of dragons, always been scared of humans. So Hiccup's training was always how to kill a person, never how to kill a dragon. Because he can heal a dragon, he can put that under his command, and dragons usually love him after learning who he was. But a human, they can kill him, they can hurt him, and they can try to kill him. He's always known since he was a very young man that humans are more dangerous than dragons. So his style of fighting grew to, how can I kill a person? So he never adopted the shield. How can I kill a person faster? Another sword. As he looks at him and says, come on, like, you've lost, take your loss with respect, please. As Snotlot looks at him and says, fine. And he bows to him and says, thank you for the competition, and walks away. As Hiccup's like, that actually was a lot more respectful than I thought. As this is where we're going to end off the video. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to be posting more often, hopefully. Thank you very much. If we get to 400 subscribers, I'm going to keep on making the Percy Jackson what ifs that you guys really seem like liking. But thank you guys very much for all of the things you give me. See you guys later. Goodbye.